Okay, so let us begin this nightmare of a... If you don't do it right, it'll kick your ass every single time.
Let me catch you up on the current situation.
It's the first time the game really takes a huge jump in difficulty. Yeah, so, yeah, Maximilian's massive tank, which he's totally not trying to, you know, compensate for anything at all. According to this infographic, it leans slightly to the right and then takes a turn to the left. I don't know how I should feel about that. And again, what it just said there in the thing there, use your lancers to take out this and everything. So all game long, they've been pounding it into your head, nonstop, that, you know, oh, lancers are used for anti-tank purposes. They're anti-tank. They're anti-tank. And then right here, oh, you're going to need your lancers to take out all those turrets on the side of the tank and take out your tank and this, that, and the other. Lancers and this and lancers that. This game does it a couple of times where they'll try to feint you as to what you need to do. And then they'll tell you mid-mission, but by then you're already set up wrong. I'll just tell you right now, you have Largo on this field simply and only because he gives you a command point. And the fact is you need only one Lancer to do something completely else, and I choose Largo simply because, again, the command point that he gives your squad. It is that big of a deal that you do not take the advice there. That is the biggest reason why when you get set up you're wrong. Now this infographic here on the front here, as to where you are in relation to the cannon, the two cannons, there's both forward and rear cannons on this thing, and they are ridiculous. I find these red zones to be misleading. And the reason for that is that the rear cannon there with the 180-degree sweep, it goes farther than what that graphic shows. And same with the front. It only shows it as a, what is that, like a 45-degree swath in front of the tank. I've been next to the tank, dead square next to it, and it shot me because I've sort of in front, sort of, you know, and it'll shoot you anyways. So do not park your tank in a way that it's in front of this tank in any way, shape, or form. And if you need to be behind the tank, you must be facing it so that it hits your front hardened plates on the front of your tank. If it hits the rear, it'll kill you instantly, and it's so frustrating. Because there's also other, you know, Lancers on the enemy team you also have to pay attention to at the same time. It's a lot of things to take into consideration when placing your tank, and your tank placement is what makes or breaks this mission, as we'll see here shortly. So, it is time for me to position my units. As before, you do not need maximum amount of unitry, and I'll explain more thoroughly in a little bit. Up here, all you need is Alicia and your engineer. Engineer of choice. Mine is going to be Nadine. That's all you need there. Down here, you're going to need... It's going to be Rosie is going to be there. It is going to... No, Rosie's not there. Rosie is going to be there. Largo is going to be there. And you're going to need one and only one more scout. Is going to go right there. The rest of the places are going to be empty, and that's all you need. And that is what you roll out with to start, and I will explain why in just a moment.
You'll commence combat now. Stay sharp out there.
That tank is our target. We have to stop it. Squad 7, move out! Now, dear galleons, flee or be crushed underfoot of the Barious.
Your Grace, I will eliminate the forces east of the temple, then return to provide support.
Very well. Though I doubt I shall require your assistance.
That is an incorrect statement.
The Barious shall rest atop their riven camp before long.
Welkin, take a look at that tank.
He must be compensating for something.
Holy. With armor like that, I don't figure my anti-tank lance will do much
And
good.
that's the first indication that they give to you that Lancers are not a good idea for this mission. But by this point in time, you're already, you already set up, you're deployed, and you're outgoing, and now all of a sudden, oh wait, it might not be that good.
And I don't like the look of that cannon. Standing in front of that thing's a bad idea.
Let's watch and wait for now. It has to have some kind of weak point.
Alrighty then, here we are at this joyous party. No matter what you do, this camp and this camp will be destroyed. The end. There is nothing you can do to save them. Do not try to. It is a waste of time. Instead, focus on keeping this is the camp that he need. If this camp is taken, then it's, you'll lose the map. However, it is entirely possible that in 9 turns to beat it as that tank is sitting right about here, give or take. This is where it is at turn 9. We should be able to take him out. All else goes well. And that is an A rank, by the way. So this is a very long mission that has a lot of intricate steps. And if you get behind the 8 ball, it gets very hard to keep, going with it. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to take Largo.
Just watch
This is the reason why you only need 1 Lancer. So, first off, that's the tank. The tank is massive. Wonder what kind of fuel that thing goes through. It's got to be ridiculous. But either way,
Try to time your shots carefully.
time your shots carefully, yada yada. So what happens is these blue things that are ruin wall. You notice, Oliver, though, you look at it and you can then, it has a health meter. And the reason for that is because you can target them. Now that one there is the indication. After he's run over this camp, he's going to shoot it. Thus giving you the idea that maybe with the right implements, you can then shoot it yourself, causing them to drop down. Thus putting more stuff in the way of that tank. Now that tank has to shoot through 2 walls in order to get any further forward. And the reason for that is every time it shoots its cannons, it's got massive cooling towers that pop up off the top. Your soldiers themselves then get to jump onto the tank and throw down into its cooling towers. There's 3 of them, which means you need 3 walls to put in front of them. 1, 2, and then let's run our way over here.
My legs aren't listening.
To right there, and then we're going to use Largo again.
Been waiting here.
Been waiting here, yep. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to aim at this one. Yada yada. Booyah. Down it goes. There's number 3.
Galleon unit sighted.
You will not need Largo again for the remainder of this mission. Stick him back here. He'll be safe back here. Out of sight from the enemy is the important thing. Now, with this, there's a couple of ways you can go about it. What I like to do is I like to take whatever scout you had chosen
I'm ready to go.
and get them up here. Get up there. What in the world is she caught on? Alright, there we go. That was weird. Right here, sniper. Hey, don't be doing that. I don't know if he'll duck down or not. I don't think so. Boom! Don't have to worry about him anymore.
Target silent.
Then you bring Freesia and you bring her over here. Within this barricade.
Watch your surroundings.
Into this is actually the your base that you do not want captured. So keep her there. End current action. You're going to want to bring in your sniper, Marina. And this is the part where I'm going to save for the first time this mission. Because this is the part where it gets a little interesting, is what I'll say. I don't normally like to... First off, keeping Rosie here is a bad idea. As soon as this starts to move forward, it'll turn, but then these cannons, both forward and this one and eventually the rear one, if you try to then move Rosie once the tank is here, you'll then just be fired upon as you try to move her. Doesn't work. You'll get shredded. So, move her in advance.
I'm on it.
Now, the big thing is you're going to want to move her out of this, and in my...
Oh, this
Great.
place is a dust trap.
Yeah, she has a desert allergy.
Please secure the route.
Is right about here-ish for now. Okay, crouch
Return
down.
fire.
We're going to be moving her as soon as that tank goes forward a little bit. We'll move her. The reason why we're having her here now is so that when those guys up there, up on this ridge over here, start to come down, they'll have to run across her at some point.
Please be careful.
But the reason why I saved in advance is you never know what kind of weird shit is going to happen.
Pinned down. Fire back.
We can end her action right about there. The other option you could do is you could bring her further up the line, but that puts her in danger later on. There's a lot of different ways you could run it. You can run her, like I said, you could bring her up here. I really don't. One thing that I will be safe checking myself through this entire mission is again, 10 feet away, my tank shouldn't miss. But yet, it's still a possibility.
Here we go.
So, let us turn this bad boy and shimmy on forward. The reason being,
Stop that tank from breaking
you want to take care of this first little cannon right here. That main cannon will not fire itself until its turn, and only if you're in front of it when that happens. You do not want to do that. As you can see, it takes 2 shots to kill one of these turrets. That's a good hit on one. And this is the point in time where I'm gonna save check myself through this whole thing. I'm gonna, if it misses, I'm reloading. The end. I don't care what anyone says. It's frustrating to me that they try to tell you that your tank has missed when it's like 10 feet away. That's just ridiculous. So after every cannon shot, I will, yes, be saving. Partially the reason why this mission takes so long. It's a long one.
Entering combat.
Right there, you just want to take it out so that way later on you don't have to worry about the cannons at all. Oosh. Okay. Ending here would be bad because then we would immediately die at the very beginning of the mission. So, let me shimmy back as best I can out of the way. Stop, stupid. There we go. It's the controls are backwards when I'm looking like this.
What is that giant
So
thing?
right about here, what's gonna happen is now when the Batimus moves forward.
Follow the advance units.
When a Batimus moves forward, my tank then acts as a barricade towards these two that are in this trench. And I'm far enough out of the way that it's not... let me put this, it shouldn't. Doesn't mean it won't. Any weird thing, the more you try to predict this game, the more it'll surprise you with weird nonsense. But yes, right there. Boom, we will end there. Now we are going to save. Again, I will save. I don't even know how many times I'm going to save during this map, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a ridiculous amount of save time. And again, if you're hardcore enough to get through this mission without saving, more power to you. But there's nothing else that we can do at this point in time. Luckily, those cannons don't actually fire on you as it's driving by, because otherwise, then I wouldn't be able to keep Alicia and Nadine here in this trench. And they might still get fired on, now that I'm looking at it. As they're going to shimmy their troops across to this that trench, and then they're going to come down towards Rosie. Unfortunately, she's there. Best case scenario, that's what happens. That's what I'm hoping for. You never know. Yeah, so there's that. Let's see what this guy does once he gets there. He might shoot at her. No, he's shooting at Frisia. Way high. That's actually weird. I haven't seen him do that. Good on Alicia. She got down. I'm too far back. And Rosie's in cover. He's not.
Go down!
Oh, almost by a hair. By a hair. If this other guy comes up behind her, then she might just shoot the other guy by accident. Nope. Oh, he's playing it safe. They're playing it safe is what's going on there. Reinforcements have arrived, which is Marina. Alright, so, as always, because it's such a rigmarole to go through each and every turn, I always just save after, before and after, just to check, check myself up. Okay, now that we've saved that time, what we should do is I'm going to get Marina in position.
Understood.
Let's see if we can't take this guy out. Definitely helpful if he does. Oh, yes.
Sweet dreams.
I'm impressed, but not surprised.
And that is all that she's got. For this very microsecond, I don't believe there's anything that would really put her in danger. For right this second, like I said. And there's only just these two guys, but I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't want to leave Rosie here any longer than this, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to I'll probably take this guy out, and then we'll back her down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna back her down to here, down to for right this moment she'll be okay. So what I'll do instead is a little unorthodox. Is what I'll do is I'll bring Rosie down and put her behind one of these sandbags. There should be sandbags there, and that'll give this guy something to pay attention to, and it'll keep her out of the range of these cannons. That's what I think will happen here. Yeah, that sounds good to me, at least right this second. It would have been very helpful if that guy had just died when I last attacked him. But nonetheless, you can't win every battle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull her back to here, with the eventuality to move her to this trench back here, right there. That little tiny trench right there is where she's going to eventually end up. So by putting her right here, that gives her protection and cover, and also so when that guy comes down this way, it'll give him something to pay attention to. Alright, right now we're going to Alright. Again, I'm going to be save checking my way through all the cannons on the Batimus. So, here we go again. Gotta save. Save check my way through. More often than not, I think it's rare, but it happens where you get a cannon shot that doesn't go through. Because right now, what we need to do is we need to take out the cannon that's on the, not the rear of, but the side that's facing us towards the rear. That cannon first. And the reason for that is that we have enough juice in our tank to then back up again. And then take out the forward one.
Entering
For
combat.
right this second. We're going to move it forward. Forward, forward, forward. And then we're going to take this bad boy out right here. Okay. Got it. And then save again. And the reason why I always go back to saving constantly is because while I don't need them all, it's the moment that I don't is when I'm going to ultimately need it.
Entering combat.
So now, let's try to take this out.
Now.
Boom. Okay, that's good.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
Now we can back this up a wee smidge. To there, give or take. And then save again.
Here we go.
Alright, so far so good. Try to keep my head on myself, trying to remember all the steps to this battle. I know it well enough, but it's been enough time that I definitely want to keep myself doing the right thing when possible. Gotta love it. I love it even more if you don't miss. Good. So far, so good. Now you're gonna want to back yourself up.
We don't know what that
There,
thing's got.
and that's all she
Be
got.
careful.
That should be safe-ish. I seriously,
No unnecessary risks out there.
it shouldn't.
soldier.
What should happen is he's gonna drive forward that turn, and then the cannon in the rear might shoot at me. It might not. I don't know. The engineer's down below, so it's not that big of a deal. We should be okay. I don't know though. But again, I did save, so we can we wouldn't lose that much if we have to go back. Marina, I'm gonna try to get her at least closer to where I'd like her to be, which is right there. I don't know if I'll make it or not. Nope. Oh, look at that. That is some malarkey. That is some serious malarkey. You're like, what is that? Not even 3 feet out from where you need to be. Oh well, you can't win them all. One thing that is not a shortage of in this mission is that later into the mission, you will have plenty of command points. Do not worry about that. So it's not like, oh no, the whole thing's ruined now. I don't know if those cannons on the Batimus will shoot her or not. That would be rare and weird.
Heed my words and no victory.
All units attack. There's only one unit left.
Fire, men. Annihilate our enemies!
He'll do that some turns even when there's nobody left. And he's gonna move it forward. And just run the camp over.
Capturing a camp is for the feeble. A needless bother when it can be crushed outright.
He's just gonna mow our camps down.
Keep your head, Lieutenant. That desert is covered by parts of standing
And this is the
ruins.
point in time when they acknowledge that what you were told before the mission is not true and what you need to do is this. But by 9 times out of 10, more often than not, you've already set up all kinds of ground units in this camp, and you've been scrambling about, and it's just a whole big clusterfuck at this point. And you're always behind the 8 ball by this point. If you're still chasing it at this point, then you're screwed. But right now, we are set up good.